One of the hard parts about being a dividend focused YouTuber is trying to appeal to the many different kinds of dividend investors out there.
There's so many different kinds.
Well, in my attempt to do just that, welcome back to the Power 5 Stocks of the Week. In this series, each week I present you all with the top performers in the following categories: dividend yield, dividend streak, dividend growth rates, 10-year returns, and the stock trading the highest percentage off of their 52-week high. All of these stocks are going to have an ex-dividend date of next week, and the only requirements for consideration to be on this list is that you have to outperform the market over the past 10 years and have a dividend streak of at least 5 years. If you're looking for a fresh take on a top 5 series you're not going to find anywhere else on YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe and tune in each and every Friday.
Steady like a clock.
Before we dive into this week's video, I want to show you how this week's list was broken down when my filters were applied. So I began this week with 227 different dividend stocks that had ex-dividend dates between May 29th and June 2nd. Once I applied the filter of only looking for stocks that had a dividend streak of 5 or more years, that list went down to 87 stocks. And lastly, I filtered for only stocks that have outperformed the S&P 500 over the past decade and was left with only 30 stocks, or 13.22% of the original list. From there, I let the numbers speak for themselves, and here are the leaders in each category. This week's stock with the highest dividend yield was Old Republic International, stock ticker ORI. ORI is a quarterly payer in the financial sector, paying 98 cents per share per year, with a forward dividend yield of 3.85%. ORI has been paying and growing their dividend over the last 42 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 4.91%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 4.1%, and a payout ratio of 33.63%. ORI goes ex-dividend on June 2nd with a payout date of June 15th, and a single $10,000 investment into ORI 10 years ago while only reinvesting dividends since then would have turned into $34,950.14, which is a 13.33% year-over-year return rate. And here on the channel, we always like to compare to the S&P 500 because in investing, the goal is always to make the most money. If you're going to invest into individual stocks that don't do that, you might as well just invest in the market. The S&P 500 in the same time turned into $30,155.40, which results in a difference of $4,794.74 over the last 10 years. This week's stock with the longest dividend streak is Dover, stock ticker DOV. Dover is a quarterly payer in the industrial sector, paying $2.02 per share per year, with a forward dividend yield of 1.45%. Dover has been paying and growing their dividend over the last 68 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 1.1%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 1.73%, and a payout ratio of 20.59%. Dover has an ex-dividend date of May 30th with a payout date of June 15th, and that same lump sum $10,000 investment into Dover 10 years ago while only reinvesting the dividends in return would have turned into $32,415.53, which is a 12.48% year-over-year return rate. Again, we're compared to the S&P 500 that turned into that $30,155.40, which results in a difference of $2,260.13 over the past 10 years. One of my favorite categories is the dividend growth rates. This week's stock with the best dividend growth rates is UFPI Industries, stock ticker UFPI. UFPI is a quarterly payer in the materials sector, paying $1 per share per year, with a forward dividend yield of 1.21%. UFPI has been paying and growing their dividend over the past 11 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 23.96%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 25.6%, and a payout ratio of just 10.03%. UFPI has an ex-dividend date of May 31st with a payout date of June 15th, and that $10,000 investment into UFPI 10 years ago while only reinvesting dividends since then would have turned into $70,512.18, which is a 21.57% year-over-year return rate. Again, compared to the S&P that turned into that $30,155.40, which is a pretty good difference of $40,356.78 over the past decade. We've now reached the halfway point on this week's video. If you haven't already, please consider leaving a like on the video as it helps me get my content to other dividend investors. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed with the bell rung so you guys don't miss any of my future uploads. Lastly, I'm open to suggestions if you guys have any specific dividend dividend content you guys want to see, use the comment section down below and let me know what that is. But now let's get to these final two stocks. Another one of my favorite categories is the stock with the best 10-year returns. This week's leader in that category is Lind, stock ticker LIN. Lind is a quarterly payer in the materials sector, paying $5.10 per share per year, with a forward dividend yield of 1.37%. Lind has been paying and growing their dividend over the last 30 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 10.08%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 8.47%, and a payout ratio of 34.05%. Lind's got an ex-dividend date of June 1st with a payout date of June 16th. And here's where this one takes the cake. A $10,000 investment into Lind 10 years ago while only reinvesting dividends since then would have turned into $328,208.42, which is a 41.78% year-over-year return. Again, compared to the S&P that turned into that $30,155.40, which means you would have been $298,053.02 better off on the side of Lind.
Are you kidding me?
Nope, I'm seriousing you.
And the final category in this week's video is the stock that's trading the highest percentage off of their 52-week high. This week's leader is Advanced Drainage Systems, stock ticker WMS. WMS is a quarterly payer in the materials sector, paying 48 cents per share per year, with a forward dividend yield of 0.5%. WMS has been paying and growing their dividend over the last 9 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 10.07%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 11.39%, and a payout ratio of just 7.61%. At the time of recording, WMS was trading 37.04% off of their 52-week high. WMS has an ex-dividend date of May 31st with a payout date of June 15th, and that $10,000 investment into WMS 10 years ago while only reinvesting dividends since then would have turned into $42,176.23, which is a 15.48% year-over-year return rate. Again, compared to the S&P that we know turned into that $30,155.40, which results in a difference of $12,020.83 over the past decade. As mentioned in the video, each of these stocks has beaten the market over the past 10 years. All of these stocks have a dividend streak of at least 9 years, and as a bonus, they all go ex-dividend next week if you choose to make the purchase. Let me know down in the comments if any of these stocks piqued your interest and what it was about that stock that got you excited. And this past Monday, I began a new series on my channel where I interview people in the dividend space and let them tell their story. I really hope it can teach some lessons and motivate others. If you missed that, check it out right here. But until next time, see you.